Did that Fab Five really have an impact on you to like fall in love with the game?
Also, have you asked that?
Yeah.
Not only that, but the Bad Boys. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
Bad
I
Boys
forgot about
more
that.
than Fab
Ooh.
Five.
Detroit was
Fab Five
popping.
yeah, but the Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Lambert era.
Yeah.
You
Ooh,
had
that's
like
tough.
you had Dumar's era, and I went to school with Son, and then Lambert would come up, and I will never forget. We was playing, I think Goodrich High School, and both him and Lambert came to watch me play. I put on a show because for me, they didn't know what they meant to me. But when I saw them there, my eyes lit up because it's the Bad Boys coming to watch me hoop in high school. I'm about to go crazy.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? I am Ariel Powers. I am the host of my very own new show called Aerial View.
We gonna hold you accountable.
I ain't missing cause you know I take the big shots. Just stop when I'm driven no.
I'm gonna be sitting here with my best friend of 10 years, Mariah here. What's up? What's up?
I'm waking up looking at you like, what we doing today? What are we doing today?
He stole my cracked chicken and then he stole my stepbrother's DVD.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they did not do that for me.
And we'll be sitting down with some really special guests. That's what life's about, right? Ups and downs, meeting people that help you get through life in a positive way. So welcome to my show, Aerial View. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Aerial View. We got a very, very special guest for you today. One of the top trainers in Dallas, the one and only Tim Martin.
Every day that you wake up, you're given an opportunity. Every day you get better or you get worse. You never stay the same.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, my best friend, Mariah here.
Whoa.
Tim, you are a special guest today.
Thank you so much.
Feeling?
You know what? I'm blessed. And I'm in a space right now just of bliss. That's the best way I could describe it. So, you know, I've been dying to try to get with you on the court, you know, trying to work out, but you know, just to be able to be in your grace, you know, it's a pleasure.
I feel the same way. God's timing is so divine.
It
right?
is.
It's
It
so
really
divine.
is.
And for me, I've been following you for so long.
Yeah.
And you be doing your thing.
Thank you.
So we really do need to go ahead and lock in on the court.
Yeah.
And just like you said, it's a blessing to have you there.
Yeah.
Because I know your story is amazing. And my thing is, when it comes to content, it's all about touching other people.
Right.
Spiritually, mentally, getting them through whatever they need to get through.
Yeah.
So I want to take the time, me and my best friend, want to get the time to know you, know what you're about, and then let the people who watch our show get to know who you are too.
Yeah.
So I want to know from the beginning, first of all, what got you into hooping?
I moved a lot growing up. So I went to 11 schools in 12 years.
Wow.
And so, and we not military.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was very nomadic, kind of a gypsy type, if you will. And my family, we just moved all throughout the Southwest and New Mexico, Colorado, all throughout Texas. And so basketball was just kind of a constant for me.
Yeah.
It was kind of like my safe space, you know? And so that's how I met people. And when you're moving from school to school every 6 to 8 months, you know, basketball was that connector. So that allowed me to really just, you know, kind of build my friendship with new people from different walks of life. And I just fell in love with the process of trying to, you know, learn how to dribble the ball or, you know, shoot the basketball outside. So that's kind of where my passion began in the game, probably around like 5 or 6 years old.
Okay. So you always felt that eagerness to get better when it came to ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, we didn't have trainers back then.
Right.
Like, we didn't have personal coaches and there was no such thing as player development. So we didn't even, I don't even think we had AAU early on, like, because I was born in 86. So like mid-90s, we ain't had none of that. So, but going to the park, I enjoyed that. You know, and anytime I was frustrated with something at school or whatever, I could just get on my bike and just go to the park and just play.
That's so funny he said that. You know why? Because when I was young, growing up in Detroit, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I would ride my bikes to the park. Yeah. That was the thing, right? Because your parents doing whatever. Right. And I started riding my bike up to the park, and I would take my gym shoes and my ball everywhere. So like, if my parents was like, okay, we about to leave and do this, hold on, let me go grab my shoes.
Right.
Why you grabbing your shoes? Just in case I see a hoop,
Just
I can
in
go
case.
hoop at.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hoop at. So hearing your story, I definitely resonate with it. And you know, Mariah was a hooper too.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing. Go up to the park, I would play for money.
Oh yeah. So, no, you the hustler.
Yeah.
You the hustler.
I act like I couldn't play. Like, I don't think I can win. Be tearing them up out there.
That's what the game needs, though, is just that love. You know what I mean? Like that genuine love. You didn't want brand new sneakers. You know, I'm sure you wanted your money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it's just you just wanted to be outside.
Yes.
You didn't want to be inside like these kids nowadays. It's a different era that we living in.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you, do you think kids still go up to the park and hoop? I don't even go to see parks anymore, but it's usually dead.
It's a ghost town.
I drove around the parks that helped me be who Aerial Powers is.
Right.
I drove around there, and I drove around, okay, I went early, okay, nobody, okay, we used to go around the sun, when the sun going down around 6. You know, so I'll get my stuff, make sure I'm good, get on my bike, get there around 6.
Yeah.
You know, everybody coming, right? Because everybody gonna come and hoop until the lights, basically until the sun go down and the lights come on, right?
Yeah.
I need to be in before the lights. That was the rule. I need to be in before the lights. Man, I drove around early. I'm like, okay, they probably do the same thing. They probably come around 6 p.m. Nobody, nobody when I went through it. I'm like, man, it's just different. It's not even the same. And I had 3 main parks.
Your go-to.
You got your top, right? The one for me, it was in East Course. Yeah. And then you got your River Rouge. So for me, I went to all of them, nothing, anywhere. Now, Memorial Park for sure. And I was like, nobody at Memorial? I know.
Were you from the same area Chris Webber's from?
So him and Shane Battier went to my high school.
Okay.
You know, but I'm not exactly sure where in Detroit or where in Michigan Chris Webber is from, but they went to my high school.
Wow. Did that Fab Five really have an impact on you to like fall in love with the game?
I'm so happy you asked that.
Yeah.
Because so many people know I'm from Detroit and they've never asked me that.
Really?
Yes, it did. But you know the Fab Five, Michigan, I went to Michigan State, but not only that, but the Bad Boys. The Bad Boys.
I forgot about
more
that.
than Fab Five.
Detroit
the Fab
was
Five was, but the Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Lambert era.
Yeah.
You had
tough.
You had Dumar's era, and I went to school with Joe. I went to school with the son.
Okay.
The son and the daughter went to school with me.
Nice.
And then Lambert would come up, and I will never forget. We was playing, I think, Goodrich High School, and both him and Lambert came to watch me play. I put on a show because for me, they didn't know what they meant to me. But when I saw them there, my eyes lit up because it's the Bad Boys coming to watch me hoop in high school. I'm about to go crazy.
Hey.
Put on a clinic.
So, for me, man, the Bad Boys was that my era. So now when they talk about, bringing W back to Detroit, I'm like, that's the move.
Well, Lambert was great too with the shot. I mean, how many? I forget, like 2, 3 championships, something like that.
I forget how many, but yeah. And then you remember he coached Vegas too.
Yep.
And you know what's crazy? I wanted to bring this up to you. So the Shock was the first hometown for me in Detroit, Michigan, right? So I used to go to the games, and that's when I started falling in love, right, with the players, the game. They moved from Detroit Shock to Tulsa. Then to Dallas. I was the first draftee when they came to Dallas. Wow. So for me, I'm like, God just writing my story, ain't he? Like,
that's a beautiful thing right there. That's beautiful.
Yep.
Wow.
And you from Arlington, right? You from here, right?
Yep.
Born and raised?
I was born like right by UTA at Arlington Memorial. When I was born, I think we was there for like a year or 2, and then we moved to Hawaii.
Oh,
so
wow.
My mom was
That's
like,
a big jump.
Yeah, she was like, yo, I'm out of here. So we got.
I love the courage that your mom has, though. Like, who does that? That's crazy. That's amazing.
It was cool because, back then, I'm black and white. So my mom's white, my dad's black.
Okay.
But early on in that time, my dad was in the music business early on. And then my mom decided we need to just start going to explore. And so her and her friend, my godmother, moved to Hawaii, and we stayed there for about, almost a year, and then decided to move back to Texas, and then that's where kind of my journey began. But Arlington, that's where it all started.
Wow.
And it's right down the street from where the Dallas Wings play now.
Yes,
at
UTA. We played at UTA,
Nice.
I'll never forget. So when you came back, you started doing what exactly? You said that's when your journey started.
Yeah, so I'm a country boy at heart. So, I mean, my grandparents, pretty much wherever they would move, we kind of just followed in line. And so we had some horses, you know, and lived on a lot of like different rural areas in southern Colorado, different parts of New Mexico. And so living along with some of the Native American tribes, learning all these different, you know, cultures and traditions and stuff kind of just molded me. I feel like it prepared me to do what I'm doing now, you know, in terms of coaching.
In what way?
I think just being relatable to people.
Yeah.
Having empathy, understand what, you know, we all got a story, right? But just being curious is something that I've always kind of took pride in, asking questions and just seeing where, you know, what you had to go through, what you had to go through. And so having expertise with dealing with just people from different walks of life, I think really propelled me to handle that in what I do now.
Yeah, because we were talking about this in our last episode about how every person is different, how every teammate is different. How do you connect with those people, or how do you say something in a way that they understand and get and don't feel like disrespected in a way, right?
Interpret things differently and everything. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we're talking about, and it's so funny you bring that up because you have to, that's something you have to learn. You can't talk to everybody the same way. You can't maneuver the same way with everybody. Different things motivate other people. So you as a trainer, you probably feel that when you're training different types of characters. I would say characteristics, not characters. But everybody has different characteristics, and it's different to learn from each and every person. So for you, like, since you're such a great trainer, what would be some like advice for up-and-coming trainers that might want to be in your position one day, and also maybe players too that could take things less, you know, criticism is always good when you're trying to get better, but not everybody, even the younger people that might be watching this show, understand that. So for me, I just want to ask you, like, how do you as a trainer make sure you do that in a way that isn't offensive? And then when you're up-and-coming players, how can they take that criticism and use it to the best of their ability?
No, I think you got to push basketball to the side, and I gotta dive into who you are as a person, culturally, you know, where you come from, get a better understanding of your upbringing, because you know I'm a firm believer in that we're all products of our environment to some degree, and I think ultimately though I studied astronomy a lot, which kind of segued into astrology. This is before it kind of became a thing on TikTok. So just, you know, just the human behavior, sociology and psychology, just diving into those details, I think really helped me understand the psyche of a player, or just really studying the behavior. So let's say if I tell you, hey, we got practice at 10 and you show up at like 9:55 consistently, like for the first week, my next thing is like, I'm gonna ask you, how bad do you really want this? Because you know, as a player, if you on time, you late. You know what I mean? So I think understanding the behavioral aspect and just trying to get a better rapport with that person, because you know, as a player, if I'm coming at you from a place of empathy, but I'm also being honest with you, and we're having just a direct conversation in the beginning, I think that we could, you know, formulate some respect, and then actually dive into the game plan that we both develop. It ain't just me lecturing you about what you need to do with your jump shot. I want to turn that into a conversation and extract feedback from you to see, like, hey, how does this feel? How does that feel? You know what I mean? And I feel like when you empower your clients or the players that you're working with as a coach, it builds this synergy and this camaraderie of trust. You know what I'm saying? And so now, anytime you may be, you know, going through a slump or whatever, we could always get back on track because we have a relationship now. So I think it's multifaceted, you know, on how I go about it. But I think ultimately for any up and coming coach or trainer, it's like, yo, get outside of basketball. Try to be well versed in other things. I remember I hired a speech coach because the one great thing about working with women, I used to always hear this, like, Tim, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm like, I kept hearing that, and I'm hard-headed by nature, so, you know, I'm like, man, you know what, let me go ahead and just try to be transparent and look at myself and reflect on how I could get better at my communication. So I worked on my tonality. how I would say certain things. And then that translated into, I'm actually currently taking a comedy class.
Really?
Yeah, not to be funny, but the way my brain works, like I got ADHD, so I got a lot of thoughts, and I could try to get them all out at once, you know what I mean? And so with the attention span, I've had to learn how to like kind of be more direct.
Yes.
And kind of like what a comedian has a punchline.
Yes.
I had to work on that. I'm still working on it. And so just trying to do other things that could make me a better communicator. I think ultimately for any coach that's trying to have success in this era, with this technology the way it's going, learn how to speak properly. You know what I mean?
That,
and effectively.
Yeah, you're not only investing in yourself, but also others. So
right.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah, and it just brings value to the whole overall experience.
You know what I hear when you say all the things that you just said? Is you're continuing to work on yourself.
Yeah.
You're at a great spot. You're training some of the top players in the NBA, and here you are saying, I'm taking a class with this, I'm taking a class with that, because you're always looking to be better.
Right.
And I think that's the difference with how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be successful? Are you okay with being at this point, or do you want to keep getting better in everything you do and everything you touch?
Yeah.
And when you start thinking that way, when anyone starts thinking that way, I mean, the sky is really the limit. You're talking about comedy classes. You're talking about like speeching, and that is amazing. That is truly amazing. So I'm giving you your flowers right now. That is super dope.
Thank you.
And that brings me to my point of like, I want to go back because you're at this amazing point right now, and you're still talking about growth, right?
Yeah.
And life is about the journey. It's about the journey. It's about the ups and downs. And on this podcast, we want to talk about the ups.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to talk about the downs because people don't talk about that. And that's the real shit.
Yeah.
And that's the shit that gets people through and pushes them through to a point of, I can do this no matter what's being thrown at me.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know that you talked about your start and being homeless. Can you expound on being at a place, and I'm not saying I know you, I'm saying what I think I know, as being at a place where you're homeless, maybe you're down on your luck, you're depressed or whatever, your mental, it might be at a place you never had it.
Yeah.
How the hell do you get out of that?
Yeah.
Because that right there, I'm applauding you and I'm giving you your flowers. It's amazing to see where you are in your growth.
Yeah.
But it's probably someone that's going to watch this podcast. Maybe homeless, maybe not, maybe down on their luck, maybe hurting. Maybe things are going wrong in all the wrong ways. And they watch this and this just bring them up just like that.
Right.
So I want to ask you, how in that moment of space when you were homeless, how was your mindset and what did you think about how did you get yourself to a different level and just continue to build?
Right. Man, I think currently that was such a traumatic experience for me personally that I operate through paranoia almost every day, because it's like when certain things happen to you in your life, you don't just forget about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever the circumstances is. And so for me, I had to learn the power of process by elimination. So when you don't give yourself options, you know what I mean? And there's no plan B, and just like, look, I don't know how this is gonna get done. I'm gonna figure this out, and it's just gonna have to work. Then it kind of does become a little bit easier, because now all you got to do is walk in faith.
Come on.
And it just, you know what I mean?
Amen.
And so we go back to the whole walk by faith, not by sight.
Yes.
Essentially, I had to build from that rock bottom. So it's just little tedious things every day, like E.T. Eric Thomas had just came out with the motivational speeches, and I think is he from Flint or Detroit?
So Eric Thomas, and I think his son went to MSU.
Yeah, he went to MSU.
Yeah, he went to Michigan State.
I know him because of MSU, and actually sometimes he would be, I don't know what he was doing walking through the gym late at night. He saw me. Yeah. And that's how we connected.
Wow.
Because I was in the gym just getting it in because I wanted to be where I am. I wanted to be in the league, and nothing was going to stop me. So you got to put that extra work in. And he saw me coming through, and it's been a couple times he's walked through the gym at MSU late and he seen me.
Wow.
And then we kind of connected that way. His motivation, the way he speaks, it just make you want to get up and work, don't it?
It do. And I would play that. I remember a friend of mine gave me an iPad.
Okay.
And so I had downloaded all his like little song videos and stuff. And one of them was, I think it was his first thing that he put out was, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe.
Come on now.
That story. And I was just like, you
know
what?
One.
That makes sense. If I just don't quit and I just want this, you know, or if I just apply myself the way I say I think I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is right before training was a thing. Yeah. So this is kind of like in 2010, 2011. There was a few trainers around the way, but it wasn't industry like it is now.
Okay.
So ultimately it was just about just praying too and just asking God to reveal the things that I need to know for myself and please make it blatant. Like give me a sign. Like I need to walk down the street and just tell me what to do.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? And so just listening to that spiritual voice and listening to that God within myself, I had to trust it. Yeah. And you know, I think that's important for a lot of people to understand. When you hear those reoccurring thoughts or hear those reoccurring voices in your head, like learn how to find solitude. Yeah. And that's when you're really gonna be able to connect with God and uplift yourself.
What you're talking about is asking for discernment.
Yes.
You're asking for discernment because you can have a lot of voices in your head. You got to see which one is the right one, which one you should listen to.
How does it make you feel?
Yeah, and then being right in your spirit. I love that. And then you said talk, huh?
I applaud him for that.
Yes,
a lot of people could just give up.
I know.
A lot of people do.
They do. So you walk by faith is what you're saying. Did you ever get to a point where you question yourself? And if so, how did you continue to block out those bad voices, the ones that weren't right for you?
Right.
Or even people.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of young people right now trying to be where they're trying to be, no matter if it's sports or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People can get in your head, opinions can get in your head, and you can start being down on yourself. Was there ever a moment like that for you?
Oh, yeah. That's true. I still doubt myself a lot today. Like, I mean, I don't, what is it called? Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So I've always suffered from that. I don't think that's ever gonna go away just because of where I come from, just my perception of life. But my mom always told me that the only reason why we're here on this earth as human beings is for spiritual growth.
Yes, come on,
so
Mom.
all those, my mom, she's a very, she instilled that Holy Spirit into me, and
my mom did
that's
too.
a compass. You know what I mean? When you had that Holy Spirit in you, it's a compass.
I like that, yeah.
Just with everything I had to go through and grow through, it's just the power of perspective. How you see something, there's always two ways to look at your situation. And so I think that's why I model my brand around with the beautiful struggle, is to try to shift whatever it is that you're going through from a struggling standpoint. You could have a little spin on it and just, you know, find optimism in that and change your perspective and allow yourself to feel something new. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You're speaking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you really speaking to me. Right
same.
Now, you know, my situation, I'm not in the league right now. But that don't mean I won't be again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And right now, it's so crazy because I wanted to do all these things off the court, but I never could.
Right.
I'm always playing. WNBA, then overseas, I'm always playing.
Yeah.
And you know, I thank God today. I praise Him. I thank Him for this moment because this is something I've always wanted to do and never had an opportunity. And I'm ready, I'm healthy, and the situation is what it is. But how do you look at the glass half full?
Yeah.
And how do you give everything you have and all the opportunities and not say, dang, I wanted to do this.
Right.
Well, maybe that's not what He wanted you to do.
Right.
Maybe that's not in His plan. Maybe that's not what He's writing in this
it's not your
chapter
time.
right now.
Maybe it's not your time.
So when you talk about that, I feel it.
Yeah.
I really feel it. And anybody that's watching this, I want them to know, patience. When you have patience, that doesn't mean that the things that you want are going to happen in the order that you want them to.
No.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's truth right there.
For real.
And especially when you take that ball away from you.
Yeah.
You and I'm not speaking for you, but I'm sure you in a space where you figuring out a new identity for yourself. Like for everyone, I mean, now you shedding off that old skin, that old version of yourself, and you kind of like, you blossoming into a new person. And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is for us all.
It was like that for me too
yeah.
when I had to transition from basketball into like just being a civilian and going to work.
Yeah, talk about that.
That's tough.
Yeah.
How did you feel? You know what, as a best friend, I never got a chance to actually dive in and ask you, how did you get through it?
It's really tough to transition into you play basketball 24/7.
Yeah,
Right.
because we was.
And then you graduate from college.
Yeah.
And then you try to go get a job and it's like, well, yeah, you got a degree, but we want 10 years of experience with this bachelor's degree. So then you're in a space where it's like, I know I can do this job.
Right.
I mean, I think athletes can do a lot of things,
Yeah.
you know, anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was tough.
Where'd your mindset go, like, for those that might be in the same situation, coming out of college, didn't go to pro, but they still want to do something with their life? Like, how did you, because I know you, they don't know you, right? So I'm asking in a way that allows the audience to know you, because I know who you are. You're my best friend.
Right.
You always look at the glass half full as well. But like verbally, how did you, and what did you say to yourself? Because it was probably a moment where you're like, damn, I'm not hoping I got to figure this out. What was your mindset like? What did you tell yourself? What could you tell to somebody watching this in the same space?
I would say that don't sit around and just wait.
Right.
You know, try things, learn things about yourself, go through those growing pains of figuring out your identity outside of being an athlete.
That's it.
It makes it's tough. It's going to be tough. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, players get injured all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. It's tough transitioning to like, oh, damn, what am I about to do?
Yeah.
But you can't sit around and not do nothing.
And I wouldn't say every day is great, right?
Yeah.
I do my YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And I told y'all I'm in a situation. I'm majority of the time very excited, high, like optimistic. But some days I have that little spurt.
Yeah.
I have to, luckily I do my vlogs, I have to go back and watch myself.
Yeah.
And talk to myself. Like I hear my video, you right. You sometimes you gotta look in the mirror, you gotta talk to yourself and say, you got it, baby.
Yeah.
You got it. God got you, and keep going.
Right.
So it's a blessing to have y'all right now.
Nah,
I'm sorry,
thank
I'm
you.
having a little moment.
I thank you. And I love what you said too, because I tell a lot of players about that. Whether they retire from the game of basketball and transition into like maybe TV or whatever the case is, or high school to college, college to the pros. That's self-discovery. The only way you could really like navigate through that is by trying stuff that's new.
Yeah.
And that's why I say like listening to different genres of music, going to a different restaurant, trying different cuisines, going to maybe a new vacation spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where when you can't unsee certain things, and you can't unhear things, and certain sounds or certain frequencies or maybe a different taste in the food could like empower a different emotion in you. And that could trigger something else, and it's kind of like a domino effect, you know what I mean? And that could lead you down a path that you may currently now actually want to be at, you know? So I love what you said, because that self-discovery is so vital, I think, for any of us to continue to grow and get to that next level.
Because nothing is forever.
Right.
Nothing is
You know?
forever.
Yep.
I mean, you could play basketball 100 years, but it still won't be for forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
True.
So.
Wow, it's a blessing to have y'all right
thank
now.
you. Thank
really,
you.
it's a blessing. So, so I want to ask you about your clothing brand. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
It's called
Beautiful Struggle.
Beautiful Struggle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been having that. Shoot, this is.
I love the name, by the way.
Yeah. So this is actually the 10-year anniversary, and so.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yep. So we did a documentary. We released our first episode on YouTube called The Beautiful Struggle.
The Beautiful Struggle.
I actually took the concept and the idea from Hoop Dreams, the old documentary.
Yeah, I remember Hoop Dreams. Yeah.
So one of the clients I was working with is Juwan Evans.
Okay, yep.
At that time, this is many moons ago. He was going to Kimball High School out here in Dallas.
Okay.
And we just like let's just film everything, because I was going through my situation, being homeless and my hardships. And then he was trying to figure out how is he going to make it to the league as a 5'10" point guard. And so we didn't know the trajectory of where it was going. We just filmed everything and archived it, and that kind of just turned into a documentary. And then one thing led after another. He made the McDonald's All-American game, went to Oklahoma State, and then made it to the NBA in 2017.
So you were training him that whole time?
Yeah. So we just shot everything behind the scenes. And we just kind of created a story around
That's
it.
walking in faith right there.
That
Yeah.
is.
That's walking in faith right there.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And y'all called it the beautiful struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all was both going through things,
Yep.
but y'all was just taking it in a beautiful way.
Yeah, and we just showcase like everybody has some type of testimony. You know what I mean? So I wanted it to be relatable.
Yes.
I always loved film. I felt like that was therapy for me to use like a visual diary.
I feel it. I see.
You know what I mean? And just kind of create something that I felt like was new and refreshing. Yeah. This is before content was actually a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when we posted it, just the feedback and how a lot of people embraced it.
Yes.
That's what the reward was.
Yes.
We wasn't trying to like make money off of it. But it was just the storytelling. That was the whole idea behind it.
A real story too.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody can relate to that.
Right.
Not only that, let's talk about how vulnerable you have to be, how strong you have to be. Like, sometimes when you're vulnerable, people take it as weakness, but a lot of times to be very vulnerable and open, you have to be a strong person to take the criticism that you might get, to show you being homeless, to show him not being in the league but wanting to get there. But the motivation behind it and how you guys touch lives is incredible. It's strength and vulnerability for sure.
Yeah, and that's what this world's missing. Like,
yes,
I really, my dream is to get a flip phone. So I want to get away from this social media.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, and it's a necessary evil, you know what I mean? Because like, you got to promote your work. You got to connect with people and all that. But it's just everybody is replicating everything, and there's no authenticity. There's no originality.
Yeah, I feel that though.
And I'm old school. Like I love like the 70s era in music and 80s, 90s music.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of had their own lane. And now when you turn on the radio, everybody sound the same. Yeah. When I look on content, everybody's kind of doing the same thing. So I think allowing yourself to just be you. We use that expression a lot, but I think it's healing for yourself once you get over the uncomfortability aspect of it. And so I could understand where you're talking about like making this transition into the media space. But you're doing a fantastic job. So kudos to you on that.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Every time I post or do anything, you know what helps me? Thinking of the other person that I might be uplifting.
Right.
Now that's what made me shift into who cares?
Yeah.
If I'm helping one person, who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on here, being vulnerable, telling your story. And when we gonna get in the gym?
Yeah, we got to. And that, you know what? This is how God works. I mean, sometimes I feel like life is very symmetrical.
Yes.
Everything happens in twos. It's just that second time around, what you gonna do about it? Yeah. And so I feel like this is just a moment for us to connect. Yeah. I've always heard your name from around the way.
I heard your name too.
And I think, there's some things that I would love to help you with, not just in your game, but just trying to see where we could, take it to another level.
Elevate.
Yeah.
Elevate. I'm down. I really appreciate you in each and every way. Me and my best friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys
if you want to train me, you might take me out of retirement.
Get her back on the shoes. Get her shoes back on.
Put some oil on these knees.
Hey, it's all right. We get the icy hot out and we're good to go.
Biofreeze. I'm old school.
I brought y'all a gift. So these are two. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to drop them off. So.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let me overthink this. What that mean?
So it just going back to how you could shift perspective, right?
Yeah.
You know how I'm always saying, man, sometimes I could overthink something. Yeah. But it's just like, don't take life too serious. Yeah. You know what I mean? Have fun with your journey because we talk about it all the time. That's all we got. But, have fun with what you're doing in your process. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw you did the TED Talk.
Yeah.
I got to ask. Because TED Talk's like, you done sign this for me? Because TED Talk, he legit. You done go look. Yeah. So what was that like?
That was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever did in my life. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was cool. It was a much-needed experience.
Yeah.
When you talk about getting uncomfortable, it was probably, a 3-month process, give or take.
Oh, wow.
We had to have, like, weekly or bi-weekly meetings.
Wow.
Talking about, it took me about 2 weeks just to figure out the title, which, it's self-explanatory, but the point being is like just having to deal with so many emotions and your anxiety. You talk about like nervousness.
Yes.
Then you getting on stage. I remember like I think there was like 20 of us that had to go up on stage and speak, and you have like a short time span of 10 minutes. So for me, already off the jump, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like I've done speeches for an hour, like at coaches clinics, 2-hour coaches clinics.
Wow.
No problem.
Wow.
But 10 minutes, I got to get all that information out quick. That was hard. And I remember I had to go to the bar and take a shot before I went on stage.
Sometimes you got to do it. It's all right.
Yo, I was nervous. And then you get on stage, it's like this big movie theater. There's like 500 people.
Woo.
Oh, wow.
And you got this bright ass light, and I feel like a rotisserie chicken, just hot.
They're cooking.
I can't see the crowd, and it's just silent because I got an earpiece in my ear.
Oh, wow.
And I remember like the teleprompter kind of had a malfunction at that time, so I had to recite everything up the top of the dome. And so unbelievable like experience though, like from top to bottom. The people I met, the relationships I built, the rapport, and then obviously just going through that process of what it takes to have a 10-minute script.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
And just with all the elements combined in it, you know, it was just a fascinating experience overall.
Yeah. So what did you end up titling it for the people that might want to go back and watch it?
Yeah, so Why Struggling is Beautiful. So that took me 2 weeks to figure out, but so we had to rearrange everything, and so you know you couldn't really self-promote your brand, but that was the title. So check it out on YouTube. It's Tim Martin TED Talk. You could just type that in. And
all right, we all know you're a dope trainer. For those you don't know, he trained some GOATs like Tyrese Maxey, Wemby, Trae Young. So tell me about it. We always seeing them hooping, doing their thing, and you're an actual trainer sitting here on the couch right now. Make sure you get me in the gym.
Yeah.
But talk to me about like how it is training, and tell me some stories. Like, tell me how it feels.
Man, it's surreal because I've been knowing these guys since they was like 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
So that process really started when they was early on in high school.
Okay.
And we talked about developing a rapport and a relationship. So kind of being the big brother of the situation, just telling them like, look, this is what you need to expect going into college. Yeah. So when they was in high school, we're not even talking about the NBA.
Okay.
We talking about how can we dominate that next level.
Yeah.
Then once you're in college, how can we dominate this to get to the NBA? And so having a blueprint and just sticking to that script was great because one, they're patient, but they're the one distinguishing quality amongst those three guys is that they're all very curious. So there's never a time where we're in the gym and they're not asking questions, which made me a better coach because I had to be on my P's and Q's, you know.
Did.
So, but to see their growth, not just even about basketball, but just off the court, the maturity aspect, I've literally seen them go from teenagers to grown men, you know, and with Trae having his family, you know, and Tyrese Maxey becoming an NBA All-Star, and now Wemby turning that corner of potentially being the face of the league. Yeah. It's been great, and it's fun for me because, you know, I was a big man in middle school. So I'm living vicariously through these guys. So it's kind of like that. I don't know if you ever seen that Disney movie, Big Hero 6. It's just like I'm that little kid and I got a robot right here. Yeah. So all the things I would want to do if I had a quick first step or if I could shoot like Trae or I had, you know, post game like Wemby, I'm gonna just say, hey, let's try this, let's do this in this situation. And so it's been a great experience. I'm just overly happy for those guys to see what they've become at this stage in their career.
What we be saying? Sometimes you just gotta laugh.
Sometimes you just gotta
laugh
about it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you guys.
Okay, this fresh, nigga. I'm gonna have to go ahead and order me a shirt and everything now.
Y'all make bathing suits?
No, we ain't there yet. If y'all can help me out with that,
we got you.
Let's get it. We can collab and do all of this. So
we got you. We appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Giving you your flowers, and we gonna
Man,
thank you.
You're
Thank you
great,
so much.
man.
I appreciate y'all.